Ben?
Go
François
ahead,
speaking.
Rose. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
As I mentioned, I looked at many supervised coaching, and we had the scenario where the client was talking a lot, or the client was very linear in her thinking, and the best way was to use this metaphor. And today was again another case study that we never had up till now, of a client not answering and taking a lot of time after the coach asks a question,
Yeah.
um, and being very uncomfortable in a coach position, because yes, as the coach said, is she thinking, is she, I don't know, what is she doing with all this time, and what should I do as a coach? So it's very difficult to be in this position. So today we saw it, thanks to this case study, what to do in the coach situation if it happens in the future for us.
Thank you.
So, and thank you so much for explaining what was the client thinking in the moment, and especially this fear that she had with the past, and why she couldn't move forward in the beginning, and that the metaphor helped to open up.
Mhm.
So thanks a lot for sharing that, because we see another how do you say, type of thinking, and especially case study that could happen for us in the future.
Yeah, thank you. And I think what you guys have witnessed is the power of association and disassociation happen real time. Do you notice? Do you know what I'm trying to say here? Association and disassociation. The metaphor breaks opens the cage that kind of like trap the client's mind. And when the client starts to buy into the metaphoric language, something happens to the client's mind. The logic breaks loose. And the creative power within the mind now starts to activate, allowing the clients to be a little bit more reflective. And as you can see, logic mind, critical thinking mind is good to solve the problem, but that gets the clients more stuck as she uses her logic to process her questions. Once we are able to use the metaphor, it's not the metaphor that works, it's the metaphoric language that free the logic mind, allowing the client's mind to use that reflective thinking. Can you see the moment the coach stop using those formulated trained questions and be more spontaneous in responding to the client's logical mind stop responding. I mean, if you use logical question, of course, the client's frame of thinking is logical and critical. And then it reinforces the trappedness of the client's mind, and already the client don't feel safe. It make it harder for change to have happened because of the way the client is thinking. The moment a metaphoric language is introduced and the client's mind caught attention to it and start to process it, it stop using logical thinking. So at that moment of the coaching process, reflective thinking start to kick in. And henceforth, the mind experience the freedom to access something that is in the unconscious mind of the client. So that metaphoric language opens up, breaks into the client's unconscious mind, and usher in, in usher in a new content that is holding the clients back. And that was a memory of a fear. Now remember, in level 1 training, I mentioned very strictly that what we are working with our clients in a coaching conversation is a memory. So the clients remember something, and this something is called fear. It's just a subject matter. It's not a feeling. It's just a thing. It's just something called fear. To me, that is just a thing. And in that moment, that fear, in the reference of the client's story, is a belief. Can you notice that? So the fear is not what we are looking for. So if you look for the fear and you target the fear, okay, it goes off the tangent. Do you understand what I'm trying to say here? So that's where the clients are bounded by this deception. Trust me, clients, people live in a world of deception. You need the metrics, the blue pills or the red pills. Are you sure this is real or not real? We live in a world of deception that we can't differentiate our reality. But from a trained perspective, we can discern that the fear is just a deception. What is really behind the fear is actually a belief system. That clients actually believe something that you believe from a past that has registered in the mind. The word fear is just an end product, something that is created as an experience of an interaction with an unpleasant incident. So that incident created a belief. She believed something to be true in her mind that somehow created an end result called fear. And because the client's belief or allowed the fear to have a grip on her, she cannot discern that, hey, it's not true. Because the fear as an end result withhold a reality that is true to the client. So the clients actually believe in the deception of the fear that created in her mind. And the moment the coach was so bold to offer that to the client and say, well, it sounds like you believe in something. And the clients remember, yeah, that happened, in the past, in this experience, da 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 da. And that's where the magic happens, when we simply bring the fact, F-A-C-T. This time round, facts has power. Okay. Okay, we bring a fact, F-A-C-T, and the fact is a reality, and the reality is that was. Now the clients experience and encounter the truth, and that's where we can help the clients to disassociate from something that she was connected to. The dissociation was formed, and then we then help the client to reassociate it with something that is more relevant and useful. That's how we can bring a deeper transformation to people's experience. Good? Any thought about this before we move on to talk about other juicy stuff?
Then I just want to find out that at this level 2, do we now bring in metaphors?
Mary, would you just hold your questions behind? Okay, Mary, just hold your question behind and just observe.
Okay.
And
all right, I'll hold it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for doing.
Okay.
Great. How about our students here in level 2? What's your thought about that? About what I just said? Can you find a marker, some markers that support this whole entire process? Are you able to identify some of the markers that you've learned that could have supported this process? Okay, I'll give you some hints. It's around creating awareness. Okay. And it's not found in the markers, it's actually found in the descriptions of the markers. Are you able to find some reference to that? It might be useful if you look at active listening. If you're looking for the markers, look at the 47 Ds, look at active listening, and then look at the description for creating awareness. So you remember the two PDF documents, ICF description, which is a big description list, and then the 47 markers. So there are 2 different PDF files, so don't get yourself confused. Look at the description of creating awareness, compare that with the markers of active listening. Can you identify some of this competency? Oh guys, you're frightening me. Okay, need to have an MCQ question. Okay, a closed book exam that's done real time without open book reference. Okay, Can you quickly identify what was the competencies surrounding this process that we're talking about?
Ben, are you asking for the markers that are in those competencies?
Markers and or competencies. What competency supports this entire process that I was referring to just now?
Hi Ben, it's Kelly.
Hey, Kelly, go.
I think that hey, I really liked what you said about the belief. It's a really good way of just slicing through the client's mind with a fact.
Yeah.
And I think that it's really active listening,
Mm-hmm.
and the listening that goes beyond the situational context to
Yes,
expand the client's current way of thinking.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And there's also a marker around helping the clients to consider their perceptions. It's also helping the clients to expand their mind on the who aspect, and also using the what aspect of the client situation as a reference point to take a look at how is that showing the clients the way her DNA is structured, or how the current system is organized for her to see or to experience it, in this way. Can you see how those markers can be artfully, integrated into not a question that we ask, but into a process? So can you see the muscle, the strength of the muscles and the muscle? We are not interested about the muscle now, okay? So if you look at the 47 markers very strictly, you're just looking at the muscle. Right now, what I want you to pay attention to is the strength of those muscles, okay? Don't just look at the 6 abs and say, wow, the 6 abs. No, I want you to experience the strength that comes with it. Okay, so those are the competency. Okay, thank you, Kelly. Any comments around this piece about active listening and creating awareness before we move on to another fresh insight?
Yeah, the inquiry opens up new learning and greater clarity. Absolutely. And there is another one that also I really observed about the coach, is that inquiry helps the client create the future rather than focus on past or events. So he told her, this is what happened in the past. So now, how are you going to deal with it in your present?
Precisely. Beautiful. Yeah. Well spot on, Linda. Working with the clients on a possible future. Interested about really what to create rather than what to resolve. Even at the accountability piece, can we see how elegant the whole process is? Even in the accountability piece, we are interested about now moving to the future. With this case, are you ready for a big question?
Yeah. I had beautiful questions.
I thought the conversation ended. I mean, no, it's not ended. It's just started. Okay. The client was like surprised. Well, in fact, the conversation just started. So the question is, what's next? That's where the conversation just started. So what's next now for you? Because awareness is good, but it means nothing if the client is not doing anything about the awareness. See the point? I'm so committed to just kind of slap coaches on their face. You know what I mean? Yeah, we spend so much time to get awareness and stop there. I mean, coaching conversation is not just about getting awareness. It's helping clients to consider what they need to do with the awareness. See what I mean? It's what you need to do with it now. Talking about it, feeling good about it, get aha is good. So what's next? What's next? What's going to happen now? Got it? So don't be ruthless. Okay, be demanding, be the tyrant, be that angels. You know what I mean? Go after the clients. What are you going to do next? Huh? What are you going to do next? You want me to hold you accountable? Good. Tell me what you want me to do to you if you don't do something about what you just said. Just like how a mother talks to her kids. You know what I mean? We're just too chicken, coaches kind of too professional until they become like a chicken. No. You're doing disservice to the clients if you don't hold them accountable to change. So we had to be gracious, elegant, but yet bold. So what's next? Good. You want me to hold you accountable? Great. What do you want me to do to you? Yeah. Because this is all about responsibility. Right? And you experience that with me working as your mentor coach. Great. I give you the deadline. If you don't write to me, fine. You miss it. I'm not going to compensate to you. No, you miss it. I'm going to trust full responsibility in you that is what serves your intention. You know, I mean, something happens, fine. But I'm not going to retreat back because it is me instilling a sense of responsibility in all the things through every fabric of our life that's connected together. Because if you want to see change, there's accountability, there is responsibility, and that's what we are upholding as professional coaches. Got the point? Great. So don't be so gracious in your accountability. In level 1, we sort of like just let it pass. What kind of support do you want? What kind of resources do you want? Who can support you? Fine, that's level 1. But when you come to level 2 and moving on forward, that's where you hold accountability for change. Okay, great. Thank you for the insight, Linda. Good. Anyone else would like to contribute to our juicy discussions? Go ahead, Alina.
Okay. So, in addition to the acknowledgement that the coach did during the conversation many times, the coach not only that helped the client to move, you know, or don't look at the move the focus from the past to the present and to the future, but also from the negative to the positive. And there were many instances when he did that. It was really nice to see. And also from client's attention to the others to attention to herself.
Yes.
Where is your voice in this? And all of these things, you know, it really helped the client to go inside.
Precisely.
And
that's the power of observations. Remember in level 1 training, don't forget your level 1 training. One of the things that I noticed is when you reach level 2, you stop doing what you learned in level 1. Okay. You stop expanding the mind for space and you just go like focus on your formulated PCC markers. Yeah, I mean, you forget about the basics that we learned in level 1. Make observations, make heading. Well, it sounds like it's a social norm. You're complying to a social norm. And that is the voice of what people say. That is other people's voice. So where is your voice? Where is your voice? Can you see how beautiful we switch the IT, the it, to the me and the I? Because change happens when we start to talk about I think, I feel, I see, the I, not the it. Can you see in the beginning part, the conversation, the client's conversation is the it. Oh, career advancement, my boss. It's always the IT. Do you notice that? Yeah. Make observations.
Yeah, and about that, you know, it was there were a lot of moments when the coach asked about what is behind the laughter, and it's interesting, you know, that all the time was something different, even though the laughter was the same. So yeah,
authentic. You know, the observation of the you know, one of the things that you need to learn is just because we taught you to notice the laughter and inquire about the laughter doesn't mean that every time when somebody laughs, ha 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 ha, it's, oh, what's the laughter?
Actually, she was hiding behind the laughter.
Yeah. So that is the worst thing to do, is to ask the clients to take off the mask, because that laughter is a protection to keep safe, and you're just telling the clients, okay, I'm going to strip you naked in front of everybody. No, that's not the moment to ask the laughter. You need to have the discernment to recognize that laughter is a protection for the client. Let the client laugh, okay, and keep her safe. Okay, don't peel that mask off the clients too early. So one of the learning here is that we have to be authentic and not serve the marker. Use the marker to serve us. They are just a tool. Noticing the laughter, the look to the left. Is that left? To the clients is that right? So sorry. The client look to the right or the left. I don't know. Okay, those are more authentic. Okay, so look for those authentic moments in which you can invite the clients where the laughter means something that kind of like. Usually, I don't really want to talk about the laughter because laughter doesn't really tell us quite a lot about something. I rather notice what's the shift in the energy, in the tone of voice, in the way the client responds to me. I find that it's more authentic and powerful to see the world view of the clients rather than the laughter. But of course, in training, we have to begin with something that is easier for you to observe and use that to progress forward. So move beyond looking at the physical. Okay, of course, the eye movement is something very critical here. Okay, the looking to the right as the client was talking to the client shows that she is learning, she's thinking, she's reflecting right now. But it's more interesting to see how she's reflecting. If the clients look at the coach and look up this way, and I mean the face direction is up this way, it means that the client is not avoiding. The client is embracing. And by looking up this way means I'm trusting the client, I'm trusting the coach, I'm vulnerable, I'm open. But if she's looking down this way and face up, it means a different story. It means I'm noticing the truth, but I'm not ready to engage. There's still things that I'm not coming in terms with, but I'm open about it, but I'm not ready to engage. Can you see the difference in the dynamics? Depending if the client is left, right, if his client is right hand and look right, that is the difference between looking left. If I'm a right hand, I look left, means I'm not telling the truth. Spouse, know when your husband is not telling the truth? Okay, look at where they're talking. The head. If they are left, right, they are right hand, they look to the left, means she's not telling something, she's hiding something. These are all body language. Okay, these are signs in which people have studied, and those body language helps coaches to read the client's mind. Trust me, I'm well trained in body language.
Then if the client is right-handed and looking right,
means yes, he's processing something that is true.
processing.
Yeah. So it's right hand and he goes the other side. He's hiding or kind of like fabricating something. Experiment that with your spouse and see how it goes, or with your kids. Okay. Mom, I did not eat anything. It shows that no, I did not do it. Kids are good, you can see that's not true, right, Ivan? It comes very handy in dating, trust me. Okay, any thought about that?
Ben, may I ask a question on the body language and the energy, just to follow up on what Alina said. So because the client was laughing quite a lot. So it wasn't really a shift. It, as you said, it was more of a mask or a protection.
Yeah.
I felt that there was more of an opportunity to observe a shift in her energy after the cloud metaphor, the blue sky and the clouds, and she's smiling rather than laughing, and became a lot more chatty, and she sped up in her speech.
Yeah.
I think that would have been an opportunity to observe the shift.
Do you notice something? Do you notice that the coach also a little bit being forced, but the coach smile back, not laugh back, but the coach mirror back, and it was very deliberate. It was clear instruction: smile, smile. So when the coach reflect back the same feel of energy the client is experiencing, it brings the two parties together as an invitation. Can you see how these little things really makes a world different? The client stopped laughing, the client smiled, the coach smiled, the connection was being secured. Then the deep dive into the invitation of what the likeness is all about, enabling the clients to anchor the change, allowing the mind to solidify the learning, crystallize it, and it brings back to the heart of the clients. It's like a doctor bringing the baby out from the mom, a newborn, just with that tender hands, just ushering the newborn out and just rejoicing together in a moment. I think you ladies remember ladies, you don't remember because you're so busy delivering, but husband had the chance to really rejoice at the moment. I mean, I always amazed when I look at baby. At this very moment, my wife is not with me. She's in Kazakhstan because, my sister-in-law give birth, and I want to make sure that she's there. And when we look at newborn, it's always, very rejoicing, something new. So that was what the experience is when the client is delivering, the change, and the coach is there to welcome and receive the change and secure that for the clients. That lightness, the ease, and the tension just left, and there was that lightness around you. So what are you celebrating? Can you remember? The coach asked the client, so what are you celebrating? That's the right moment. You know what I mean? What are you celebrating? And that really assures the clients and kind of like encourage the clients to embrace the new understanding. And that's where it gives the clients a powerful, force to be bold and say, yeah, I need to be courageous. Beautiful moment to witness by just working with the energy. And what you see is really a science and actual skills involved in working with the energy, not just in theory. A lot of stuff people just talk about energy, but it's just they just talk about it. They just don't know what they're talking. Okay, we need a real practitioner who knows and understands the working of the energy. Okay, good. Thank you, Diana, for picking that up. Good case study on noticing energy. Great. One last topic to discuss. Anyone would like to raise something different? We'll talk about two very interesting things. The second one, the energy, and then the first one about the connections and active listening and creating awareness. So two things we have talked about. Anyone else? Let's bring one last topic out of today's conversation as a highlight of the competency.
Then I mean, there was a moment when the coach brought finally his heart into the conversation.
Yeah.
Because it was very mechanical in the beginning, and progressively he was getting into it, and the heart came in, and then suddenly the lightness was on him, and he brought the lightness to the coachee, to the client.
Beautiful.
And with that, the nature of the questioning was totally different. He moved from this very mechanical question to this amazingly beautiful questions, beyond standardized, beyond what we are used to hear.
Yeah.
And then the conversation went so smoothly. That was amazing.
Amazing. Thank you for highlighting that, Linda. And my message to all of you is find your own authentic voice. All of us are different. We are all different, but brought together with one passion. But we are uniquely different by our experience, our personality, our own style. And with this coming to the end of our advanced training, find your own voice. Kung Fu Panda, remember the story that I mentioned in level 1, the Kung Fu Panda looking at the dragon's throat? Nothing! The true power lies in you finding yourself. Okay, find your own voice. Find what's thick for you. Find out what topics makes you really alive as a coach. Find where's that topic, and be ambitious. Be as greedy as you can. Deep dive into that topic. Be ambitious. Study as much as you can about the subject matter. Be diligent. Study about that, and make yourself an expert in that particular topic that makes you tick. And that's where you can rise up to be a master. Okay? Got a point here? Well, great. It's such a journey. Okay. It's such a journey with all of you from level 1. Some of you I know personally. I seen you in level 1 training, and I hear your recording. I seen you grow and struggle, and you complaining and agonizing. But we have come to the end of this journey, and it's going to be goodbye to all of you. But I'm sure it's not a goodbye. It's just a new beginning for all of us to move on powerfully, honoring why you are here. Okay? Because we want to inspire positive change through the mastery of coaching. And I hope this training had helped you to realize that this is going to be our art, and that you will continue to work hard to honor that. So with that, shall we give everybody a round of applause? Okay, let the friendship continue on. You have fought a very powerful friendship with one another. Continue this friendship and move on in your life powerfully. So take care, everybody.
Thank you, Ben.
Bye.
That was a
Thank
great
you,
journey.
Ben.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks, Ben.
Thank you,
So
everyone.
much.
Thank you so very much. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Namaste.